Hi, it's Susan Harkleroad, and this is week 7 of our 8-week NU450 Community Health Nursing for the Registered Nurse. I can't believe it. It was so interesting to see where you researched about your communities, and in one case, a nursing agency's disaster plan. You had some valid suggestions on how to close the gaps in the places that you live. And I won't hope at least one of you will take your suggestions to the city or the township or the borough or the school district in which you made the suggestions. I wonder why EMS is such a valued part of the plan, but the largest group of healthcare providers, which is us, nurses, are not harnessed in disaster situations. What could we as nurses contribute to these disaster plans? I'm enjoying watching you as you present your educational presentations. I love the way that you interact with the patients, or with the clients, excuse me. You understand now that teaching in the community requires a set of different skills. You always have to have research-based information to share, but you realize they have to be presented in the client's terms and at their levels. You all have been respectful, flexible, and accommodating in your educational styles. You see that there are participants that are quite verbal and others that are more reticent. Often what the agency has to offer, like food and clothing and bingo, take attention away from your educational presentations and affect how attentive the audience can be to you. Look for my feedback in the health policy action letter. That's tab 5. Some of you use it to reiterate the benefits of your educational presentations. How can your education sessions be used in a more broad sense? You might consider a micro-policy that asks if the education sessions could be continued and funded by the organization that you presented them in. Broadly addressing a governor for a statewide policy is not correct, in that you would have to give suggestions about the specific education and how it could be implemented and funded. So making smaller changes addressed to someone who can actually address the change might prove to be more effective in your policy development. Remember that the final submission of tab 6 includes those evaluative pieces of your education project. It helps you evaluate, you have to state how your client learning goals were met, and also what did the clients think of your presentation. There was one, the community resource information page. I had difficulty seeing the bottom of it in Celtic Online, so I've asked a few of you that I could not see the last couple elements to either email me or send it as a photo. I think I'm going to put that in the updates also, since I looked and saw that that's a problem with a number of them, that I don't get the entire filled out resource tool. The days of these final classes are all about getting the tabs of your portfolio submitted. You've been great about calling me and messaging me when you need some clarification about the feedback, or you needed to share any information about your portfolios, and I really appreciate that. Some powerful hints about this week's assignment, especially that PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint presentation that's asked in this session in Module 7 is not the education PowerPoint that you may have developed for your clients. It's a synopsis of your portfolio project that you're going to share with both your peers and myself. There should be a slide for each one of the tabs that you did and a reference slide. If you partnered with someone on the project, you can both submit the same PowerPoint presentation, but at the end of it, there are 2 questions that are to be posed, and they are unique to you. So you can use the whole PowerPoint presentation that you've developed together, but the questions at the end have to be uniquely yours. And then you need to submit twice, once for me to grade on the rubric and another time for your peers. You manage your peers' response to the questions that they give to you, and you respond to the questions of 2 of your peers. So that's a lot of sharing. So I encourage you to look at the instructions for the PowerPoint presentation and the evaluation to get all the components right. I know that many of you are in the process of completing your service hours, and I'm gratified that you shared, that you are learning and growing from these experiences. Let's all keep learning.